Today, when you talk about renewable energy, the mind runs to solar panels, solar street lights, but it's a lot more than that. It is for us a way of life. Look at our rural populace, who are even more in number than the urban dwellers. We all know the energy crisis and the problems that urban dwellers go through in powering their homes. Not to talk about people in our rural parts who should even be of more concern to us. And yet, investments come in hundreds and billions of naira and foreign currencies. And then we are trying to chart a clear pathway to have a codified approach to developing the sector. Yet, even the Minister of Power, who should be the first to applaud this initiative and support it, neither made a presentation nor an appearance on this first day of this two-day public hearing. The minister is not alone. Others that, like the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, NASENI, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Federal Ministry of Finance, Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Ministry of Petroleum Resources, Gas, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, the Niger Delta Development Commission, Federal Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning, Federal Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Federal Ministry of Environment and Ecological Management, the Auditor General of the Federation's Office, the Ministry of Marine and Blue Economy. Like the committee observed, renewable energy projects are scattered across diverse MDAs. And the only way we can make progress is to know what has happened since 2015 to date. But let me also say that this committee cannot be frustrated. Indeed, the House of Representatives, which is the people's house, is determined to get to the roots of this investigation. We have a clear mandate, and nobody will stop us from getting the appropriate information with which to do our job. We didn't write the Constitution, even though our forebears did. But as a parliament, the Constitution is sacrosanct. It's the grand norm upon which every person, institution, and authority in Nigeria must bow. Sections 88 and 89 of the Constitution are quite clear. We will advise the erring MDAs to take today to study those provisions. I hope they will not force this committee to go the route of invoking those provisions of the Constitution on them.
Making a comment on the timeline given for the account. So the Energy Commission of Nigeria does not keep its own accounts. So the Accountant General and all the accounts are actually domiciled in CBN. So what we do is we do our cash management, and money comes, which is based on the appropriation we get from here. So we really don't have control over the account. I don't have access to the account. I can write to CBN, write to Accountant General to please give us statements of that, but it's not domiciled with the agency. So I hope we'll get a response in 24 hours. But that won't be Energy Commission thing. It's not a personal account that I go to bank or I can download So what we do is to manage the books only. So any to do with payment or spending is directly from the Federation account, it's directly from Accountant General's office. So we don't have control over that. And that's because we are not a revenue generated agency, and maybe because we don't also receive any grants that has to be paid directly to our accounts, because we only spend what is been appropriated to the commission. Yes, so whether we've had any roadmap, part of our function as a commission is to develop strategic documents. So renewable energy is part of it. Like I said, renewable energy, the REA that is now managing the renewable energy sector in rural area used to be a subset in Energy Commission. So we have Department of Renewable Energy. So what we do is we develop strategic documents like the roadmap we talked about. The first roadmap for renewable energy was developed by Energy Commission. So we have a roadmap for it. And we are also trying to see if we can develop a separate policy for renewable energy in the country, which we have a committee working on. So we have, all we do is just to the strategic documentation, not really implementation of projects. So when we do these policies, we send it to the stakeholders to implement. That's what we do. So we have those documents. We have a few documents with some development partners like IRENA. We've developed some roadmap in Nigeria to see how we can integrate renewable energy into our grid and also improve our mini grid system. So we have that in the system. You said, what do we actually do in the commission side? So we are saddled with responsibility of strategic coordination and planning of energy policies in order to ramification. That's just our function. But while doing so, we advise the president on areas of energy like oil and gas, electricity, production. So it's part of our function. In fact, the DG serve as an advisor to the president on energy. We also collate data, analyze it, make sense out of it, and predict what the future should be, and advise the president whether we should actually embrace a particular source of energy or what does our energy mix needs presently. So those are things we do in the commission.
Okay, from your vantage position,
force, we have been monitoring to see the implementation of the roadmap we developed, and part of the strides that we've achieved so far is the recent electricity act that has incorporated 10% of electricity generation from renewable energy appropriation, like I said. So, and time to time, the budget office and the National Assembly, usually appropriates some,
right for the budget office to give you capital votes for contracts when you are supposed to be dealing with just policy.
Okay, so because we are under the, like I said, I've been supervised by the Minister of Innovation, Science and Tech, that's one. Then our act also, gave us the statutory, obligation to ensure sustainable energy development. So for that, we have to implement. There are some strategic projects.
No, my question is, given the whole gamut of what you've told us regarding the mandate of your commission, would it be right to also give you capital votes to award contracts?
Oh yes, because I've not stated all our, we have like 100 functions within the act. So I gave you just the main mandates, what we do. If I'm to tell you what the Energy Commission, like I said, all the energy sectors you see actually came out of the commission. And that
no, when you were talking about policy, you didn't limit it to just renewables. You were talking about the sector.
All in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you made it look like you are just all out about policy, which is okay. Then we have other agencies. So could it be duplication, for instance? Could it also be why we can't even keep track of what we have in terms of renewable energy? Say, for instance, solar street lights. Almost every agency in Nigeria awards contracts for solar street lights. but we can't even keep track where and where has been covered. Do you think that this is part of the problem?
So for the commission, research centers on it, and because of that strategic advantage, we conduct research on energy matters. So what our strengths are is also to localize and domesticate technologies that concerns energy, renewable energy. So if you look at the capital projects that usually come to the commission, is basically to localize the technology, development of solar PV system, green hydrogen, so the evolving technology. So we don't do.
What are those centers? So those centers, can you name them?
Yes. So the first center is the one in Suka.
What are the centers? Center for what?
The energy centers, energy research centers.
Are they renewable energy related or not?
Yes, they are renewable energy. Some are renewable energy related, some are not.
So what? No, those centers are still under this committee.
No, it's not every center that is actually renewable energy. Some are still energy centers that does.
How many renewable energy centers you have? You can leverage on your staff. You don't have to know everything. You can leverage on them, no problem.
So, like I said earlier, renewable energy is obviously emerging energy. So, centers research on new energy systems. So, it is just natural that we.
And those centers don't get any kind of grants?
They also all under. We try to centralize.
They don't get any kind of grants.
If they get a grant, that will be from the university. So this because there is.
And you can keep track of what they do.
We do.
And we are talking about being centralized.
Yes.
So you get centralized grants, which you give some to these centers.
We don't receive. If the center is receiving a grant, we won't call it Energy Commission grants, because some grants come directly to the university because they are the host.
No, I'm interested in, you said centralized grants that they don't get, but except the university, but that you have centralized
No, I didn't say we have centralized grants. So what I'm saying is
everything these exchanges are recorded.
Maybe. So we've not received any grants as a commission. So if there's any grant to the university, I wouldn't be in control of that. And it's possible that the university will receive a grant and the center will help to implement, maybe based on their expertise. So that won't be energy.
Honorable colleagues, this is a weird system.
Synthesize it in a way that if there are various centers that are entitled to grants or have received grants, we'll be able to mention it. If there's a central grant, let us know. If there's no grant, let it be said in black and white, there's no grant, and we'll have it in black and white so that we'll be able to confirm it and relate it in going forward. Everybody is interested in renewable energy because that's where the world is going to. And we're here to help you. Thank you, sir.
Are your engagements covered in your budgetary allocations, or do IRENA bring some form of support for, like, I don't know, capacity building workshops, etc., for some of your staff, etc.? So I wanted you to shed more light.
Our relationship with basically capacity building, and also they help to telling him, I hope it's not an energy issue, and he said yes, it's not. It's a technical glitch. So the IRENA, our relationship with them, it's so they help to fund some of stakeholders consultation we have in areas of renewable energy, and they also help to
just a minute.
Functions of the commission, that's part 5. Item 5, sub F, I believe. I. Yes, I. One of the functions is to liaise with all international organizations in energy matters, such as the International Atomic Energy Agency, World Energy Conference, and other similar organizations. We don't know the depth of the ingress of your
liaison with them. And then I think, Mr. Chairman, at this point, I think we should move a motion to put him, or rather, it's a duty of the House to put him under oath, so that whatever he's saying here, we can have it as evidence as we move forward. Please. I so move, Mr. Chairman.
There's no written document to which he's speaking. Does anybody want to second that for this motion?
By the evidence I showed.
I think you mentioned. Okay. Because you're faster than me, so. So I, Mustafa Abdullahi.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear.
by the evidence I shall give before the committee.
It's okay, sir.
That the evidence I shall give before this committee
That the evidence I shall give before this committee.
and all the documents I will present before the committee
And the documents that I will be presenting before the committee.
shall be the truth,
Shall be the truth.
the whole truth,
The whole truth.
and nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
We see that we bring advancements in the area of energy in the country, particularly for IRENA. We have had several stakeholders consultation where they fund, and the roadmap, renewable energy roadmap that I talked about earlier, which is the first document for renewable energy in the country, was actually funded and developed by them. Obviously, it's a collaborative effort between the Energy Commission and IRENA. That was in 2022, right? Do we have IRENA? 2022, yes, I think. Yes, but it's like I said, basically just to develop that. There was no transaction. You know, what they do is they pay consultants to do this work. The Energy Commission do not.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman.
So I could as well step out and allow my SLA to take charge. So he thinks we are joking here.
No, sir, I'm just waiting for you to conclude with those figures.
What do you mean you are waiting for me to conclude? What time were you even given for this hearing? I think that is becoming a norm to just take people for granted.
Sorry,
We have a recess from plenary. Doesn't mean we are not working. And then we sit here since morning. You come in late. That is not even enough. And then you decide to walk away whenever you like.
so it's coming
And
from
when any decision is taken, the first thing is to shout winch hunt. But you're first winching yourself. Some people gather here, different stakeholders, even the media, they have other assignments. But they were here because a time frame was given. And then, well, let's hear what you want to say.
Sure, some came, we want to appreciate those that came. But Mr. Chairman, this is a very serious matter in the light that we want to ensure that every grant or loan that was secure in the course of providing renewable alternative to electricity that is properly utilized in Nigeria. In the light of that, Mr. Chairman and distinguished colleagues, I have a move that all agencies, ministries that are meant to appear today that did not show up, I hereby move that they appear tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the same time for this public hearing. I say move.
Finds it very distasteful that a sector like renewable energy, which the world is heading towards, with several countries already embracing renewable energy technologies over the last 5 decades or more, and we just trying to catch in, especially given the effects of fossil fuel and all of that on our environment, and then the costs associated. knowing that renewables offer us